In the refrigerator in your kitchen may hold 21 cubic feet of food, enough space to turn several shopping trips into one. But that convenience hides a contradiction. The machine did not make food permanent. It simply moved heat out of an insulated box, slowing the spoilage clock. That modest physical trick helped break the connection between buying food and eating it almost immediately. It made perishables easier to keep, leftovers easier to postpone, and bulk purchases practical at home. So the refrigerator did not literally abolish daily shopping everywhere. What it ended was the storage constraint that had made frequent shopping necessary for many households. The real transformation was not just a new appliance, it was a new relationship between the kitchen, the store, and time. Long before electricity entered the kitchen, people already understood the value of cold. Ancient Iranian yakhchāls combined subterranean storage with thick insulated structures, wind catchers, and aqueduct systems. Elsewhere, ice houses stored winter ice, and snow or cold outdoor air could extend the useful life of food. The household icebox eventually became common and remained so for roughly a century and a half. Its promise resembled the refrigerators, create a cool zone inside the home. But an icebox depended on ice gathered, manufactured, delivered, and replaced. Cooling was not produced continuously by the cabinet itself. That difference would eventually separate a useful container from a machine capable of reorganizing household food storage. The hidden enemy was heat, but the household consequence was spoilage. Lower temperatures reduce the rate at which bacteria reproduce, allowing food to remain usable longer than it would at room temperature. A refrigerator therefore buys time rather than stopping biological change altogether. Modern guidance reflects that narrow operating window. The United States Food and Drug Administration recommends keeping a refrigerator at or below 40 degrees Fahrenheit or 4 degrees Celsius and a freezer at 0 degrees Fahrenheit or -18 Celsius. A typical refrigerator stays a few degrees above water's freezing point. That controlled cold is the mechanism behind the shopping change. If perishables last longer at home, they do not have to be purchased as close to the moment of use. And if frozen food can wait even longer, a household can buy more at once and consume it gradually. The shopping trip becomes less tightly synchronized with the next meal. Getting there required more than placing food beside a block of ice. In 1755, Scottish professor William Cullen used a pump to create a partial vacuum over diethyl ether. As the ether boiled, it absorbed surrounding heat and produced a small amount of ice. The experiment demonstrated a principle, but it had no practical application at the time. In 1805, American inventor Oliver Evans described a closed vapor compression cycle using ether under vacuum. Then, in 1820, Michael Faraday liquefied ammonia and other gases. These steps established that cooling could be engineered through changes in pressure, phase, and heat transfer. They did not immediately produce the familiar kitchen appliance. The first challenge was proving artificial cold could work. The next was turning that principle into a reliable system. A working vapor compression refrigeration system appeared in 1834, and the first commercial ice-making machine followed in 1854. Commercial refrigerators and freezers were operating for almost 40 years before comparable household machines became common. That sequence matters. Refrigeration began reshaping food beyond the home before most kitchens had a self-contained refrigerator. Industrial and commercial cold storage could preserve food within parts of the supply chain, while the final household link still depended on older methods. Refrigerators designed for home use arrived in 1913. In 1923, Frigidaire introduced the first self-contained unit. The introduction of Freon during the 1920s helped expand the refrigerator market in the 1930s. The turning point then was not one isolated invention. It was the gradual compression of an industrial cooling system into an appliance that could stand inside an ordinary kitchen. Most household refrigerators use a vapor compression cycle. The detailed engineering can look complicated, but the central action is simple. A heat pump transfers heat from inside the insulated compartment to the surrounding room. The refrigerator does not manufacture cold as a substance. It continually removes heat from one place and releases it somewhere else. Insulation slows heat from returning. The cooling system removes the heat that does enter. Together, they maintain an interior below the room's ambient temperature. A freezer applies the same basic idea at a temperature below the freezing point of water. This continuous process is what the icebox could not provide on its own. An icebox stored cooling capacity in a melting block. A refrigerator generated a controlled temperature whenever it had the energy to operate. That converted household food storage from a recurring ice supply problem into an appliance function. Once cold became continuous, the kitchen became a small storage terminal. Food could arrive, wait, be partly used, and wait again. Freezers extended that logic. Separate home freezer compartments larger than those needed for ice cubes appeared in 1940, and frozen foods, previously considered a luxury, became commonplace. The refrigerator made longer storage possible. The freezer made bulk purchasing more practical. This is the strongest documented mechanism behind the decline of obligatory daily shopping. Instead of matching every purchase to an immediate meal, households could match purchases to available storage space and expected future use. A tall domestic refrigerator could be about 3 feet 3 inches wide and hold roughly 21 cubic feet. That capacity represented something new in the home. Not just shelves, but refrigerated time. The trade-off is that convenience depends on a machine remaining in operation. An ice house exploited seasonal cold, and an icebox relied on a continuing supply of ice. The electric refrigerator internalized the cooling process, but it did not eliminate dependence. It changed its form. The household now relied on a heat pump, an insulated cabinet, and the conditions required to keep them working. More storage also did not guarantee perfect planning. Refrigeration lowers the rate of spoilage, it does not stop it. A larger cold compartment can make delayed consumption possible, but the evidence supplied here does not establish how much food individual households saved or wasted as a result. That uncertainty matters because storage capacity and storage behavior are not the same thing. There is another limit to the title's claim. The available evidence supports the refrigerator's ability to keep food longer and the freezer's role in enabling bulk purchases. It does not establish a single date when daily food shopping ended, nor does it show that every society adopted the same shopping rhythm. Daily shopping can continue for reasons unrelated to refrigeration: preference, routine, store access, household size, or the kinds of food being purchased. Those explanations are plausible, but they are not documented in this source pack and cannot be treated here as measured conclusions. What can be said is narrower and stronger. Refrigeration removed a major technical pressure toward frequent purchasing of perishables. It expanded the range of possible shopping schedules. Households could still shop daily, but many no longer had to organize every perishable purchase around such a short storage window. Today, domestic refrigerators and freezers come in many sizes and configurations, from small beverage coolers to full-height appliances. They may stand alone or be built into a kitchen. Many include automatic defrosting, chilled water, or door-mounted ice dispensers. The freezer-over-refrigerator arrangement became a basic style from the 1940s, though side-by-side designs later broke that pattern. Underneath those variations, the core system remains recognizable: insulation, heat transfer, refrigeration above freezing, and freezer storage below it. Commercial and industrial units operate alongside household machines, creating cold at multiple points rather than only in the kitchen. The familiar grocery haul is therefore not enabled by cabinet volume alone. It rests on a chain of cooled spaces ending in the home, where purchased food can remain usable until the household is ready for it. The refrigerator ended the necessity of daily food shopping more than it ended the practice. Its decisive contribution was control over delay. Artificial refrigeration, developed from 18th century experiments, became a working vapor compression system in 1834, entered commercial use before the household, and finally became a self-contained kitchen appliance in the 20th century. By slowing spoilage and making frozen storage ordinary, it allowed food to be purchased in larger quantities and eaten over a longer period. That altered the household's role in the food system. The kitchen was no longer merely where recently acquired food was prepared. It became the final refrigerated warehouse in a longer chain. The shopping trip could grow larger and less frequent because the refrigerator changed the one resource every perishable food was running out of: time. Visual reconstructions are illustrative. Facts and interpretations are based on the sources listed in the description.